I just faced the worst Karen ever. No joke, if there was an Olympics for entitlement, she'd have taken the gold, the silver, and probably bribed her way to the bronze. Picture this, a full-blown rave, hundreds of strangers, all on my private beach, courtesy of a fake permit Karen whipped up in Microsoft Word. And her excuse? Community needs access. Rules don't apply to me. God, you can't make this up. But here's the part she never saw coming. I turned her circus into Exhibit A for the cops. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up. Let you feel how this mess started to unravel. You ever have a place that's yours? Not just by deed, but by sweat. The kind of place where your hands still remember every blade of grass, every stubborn rock you had to dig out? That's my beach. Well, not the screaming kids and sticky snow cone part, but my part, the stretch of dunes that rise up behind the sand, tucked away quiet. My wife Sarah calls it our slice of quiet. And for 30 years, it was until Karen Gilbert showed up. She rolled in like a hurricane. If hurricanes wore yoga pants, drove Range Rovers, and thought every rule was a personal insult. She gets herself elected HOA president of Coral Key, and suddenly, everyone's mailboxes, grass, and even lawn gnomes are her business. I mostly ignored her. My property stops at the edge of the public beach. The deed's older than her latest facelift, and the HOA has zero say. Or so I thought. It started small, flyers in the mailbox, glossy and loud, announcing the Coral Key Summer Kickoff Glow Gala. And guess where it was scheduled? Yep, right in the middle of my dune restoration project. I took the flyer, marched to her house, which, by the way, blocks the sun for 3 houses, and rang the bell. She opens the door with this nervous chihuahua tucked under her arm, like a Bond villain with a sidekick. Karen, I said, holding up the flyer, this is on my property. She smiled while her mouth did. Her eyes stayed cold. Duke, darling, it's for the community. We need beach access. Your little fence is so unwelcoming. Which is funny because I don't even have a fence, just a rope line and a sign saying, Dune Restoration Area. Please respect. She looks right past me, out to the dunes. We're improving it. That messy patch of weeds? We're going to level it for a new community boardwalk. Those weeds, they're sea oats, holding the whole dune together, keeping my house out of the ocean next hurricane season. You'll do no such thing, I said, channeling my grandpa's flat calm. That dune's protected habitat, and it's mine. She laughed, shrill, made the chihuahua flinch. Don't be so dramatic. We have a permit. Everything's perfectly legal. She flashes this permit, bold as brass. I ask to see it, and she hesitates but hands it over. Permit signed by, get this, K. Gilbert, president of the Beautification Committee. Basically, she signed her own permission slip. That night, I'm on the phone, my lawyer than the county. The HOA can't issue permits for coastal work. The county lady on the phone actually laughed when I read her the permit number. So I did what you do when people don't respect boundaries. I printed a dozen no trespassing signs, staked them every 10 feet, and made sure Karen got a certified letter warning her of legal action if she stepped 1 inch over the line. Sarah watched me from the deck, arms folded, worry written all over her face. Are you sure this is the way, Duke? She said. I kept hammering the stake into the sand. Unreasonable people only understand unreasonable consequences. But I'm starting with reasonable. It's all about records, I told her. You need proof. Lots and lots of proof. Next morning, here's when the circus comes to town. 3 trucks roll in. One's hauling a stage, another's packed with speakers, the last one probably full of cheap champagne. The crews don't even hesitate, just walk right over the rope line, dragging their gear through the dune grass. I walk out to meet them. Morning, fellas. You're on private property. The foreman, clipboard in hand, sunburned, barely looks up. Karen Gilbert hired us. Says it's cleared. I pull out my phone, hit record, point at the signs. Not cleared. This is trespassing. He shrugs, keeps moving. I call the sheriff. Deputy shows up. A kid, looks like he should still be in high school. I show him my deed, the video, the lawyer's email. He listens. Then Karen struts up like she owns the place, drips honey all over the deputy about how I'm harassing her workers. Deputy sighs. Sir, Seems like an HOA thing. Not really our place. I stare at him. They are literally on my land with heavy equipment. He shrugs again. My hands are tied unless there's a breach of peace. Then he leaves. The foreman smirks at me. The crew goes back to work. That was the moment, right there, when you realize sometimes the law won't save you. You're on your own, and your only weapon is documentation. So I did what I do best. I filmed everything. Every cable, every boot print, every spilled cooler on my sea oats. The party started at sundown, and I swear it was like the invasion of Normandy. Hundreds of people, all dressed in white and neon, spilled onto my sand. Face so deep, it rattled the windows. Karen's in the center, microphone in hand, calling it the first annual Gilbert Gala. Not Duke's backyard rave. Community beach. I'm on my deck, tripod up, long lens, capturing every minute. Sarah's next to me, hand on my arm. "This is insane," she whispered. I just kept filming. The more witnesses, the better. Around 9, my Uncle Mitch calls. He's a retired surveyor, believes in property lines like other folks believe in gravity. I pan the camera, explain the situation. He chuckles, tells me to check my survey stakes. Move one of those, it's a felony, Duke. Not just trespassing, tampering with legal boundaries. A little advice from a side character, but one that would become unexpectedly important later. The party raged on, until Mother Nature decided she'd had enough. Clouds rolled in, dark and mean, and then the sky just exploded. Rain, wind, lightning, the whole deal. The music dies, the crowd panics. People stampede toward the dunes for shelter. Right over my sea oats, right through a loggerhead turtle nest, trampling the stakes I'd set up to protect it. That's when I saw Karen's security team. Instead of helping people, they form a barricade to protect the speakers. The wind's howling so bad. A porta-potty actually goes rolling toward the surf like a runaway missile. A foam machine on stage sputters to life, blasting thick, chemical-laden suds across the sand. Chaos. I grab a flashlight, wade into the storm, yelling at people to get off the dunes. Nobody listens. My turtle nest is a churned-up mess. This wasn't just trespass now. It was federal. Harming a sea turtle nest? That's big-time trouble. I recorded it all. Rain, wind, party carnage. I caught 2 of Karen's goons trying to run me off. Miss Gilbert said clear the area. One growled. I shined my flashlight in his face and told him, "You tell her I have everything on camera." The storm dies down. The crowd limps away. I'm left standing in the rain, camera still rolling, staring at what used to be a protected dune and was now a crime scene. But then, blue and red lights sweep in. A new deputy, older, tougher, surveys the wreckage. Karen, looking immaculate despite the mud, intercepts him, spins her tale of tragic weather. I hang back, zooming in with the camera. And here's the twist. I see her slip the deputy a fat, white envelope, plain as day, right there in the rain. He hesitates, takes it, and walks off. No report, no nothing. She looks so smug, she might as well be polishing her own trophy. Except she didn't notice the kid behind the sea grapes. Phone out, recording everything. Next morning, my property's a disaster. But something's off. 4 pink stakes have been driven into my sand, marking off a big rectangle, including part of my backyard. There's a plastic sleeve tied to the nearest one. Inside, a cease and desist letter from a law firm I've never heard of. It claims the HOA revised the plat, and the dune's now common property. It accuses me of, get this, sand hoarding, and demands I tear down my plantings or they'll do it for me and bill me. It's war. But I'm done playing Karen's game. My lawyer, Maria, tells me, don't touch the stakes, don't talk to Karen, just keep collecting proof. And I do. Motion floodlights, a drone with a loudspeaker, my personal favorite. You are trespassing on private property. Please return to the public access area. And an irrigation system that soaks any strategy meetings Karen tries to have on her sand. She ups the ante. A bulldozer shows up to flatten my dune. I run out, camera rolling, call 911, block its path. You can't do this, I tell her, and you can't bribe the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. Her face goes pale. The bulldozer leaves. Then, the call that changed everything. A woman named Brenda from the county clerk's office. That permit? It's a joke. Wrong number format, misspelled signature, Comic Sans font. Sir, we don't issue legal documents in Comic Sans. Brenda agrees to sign an affidavit. Now, it's not just civil. It's criminal. Proof piles up. And then, the whistleblower, the anonymous email with a spreadsheet showing Karen funneling HOA money into her shell company for beach replenishment and Dune Consulting that never happened. The treasurer, Arthur, comes clean, brings his own mountain of records. He's been bullied too long. He says he'll testify. With my footage, Brenda's affidavit, and Arthur's ledgers, we take it all to the DA. But Karen? She isn't going quietly. She tries to get the turtle nest stake moved, tries to frame the ocean for her crime. Officer Ramirez from the Fish and Wildlife Commission comes out, takes one look, and says, moving a survey marker to conceal a wildlife crime? That's a felony. Karen storms over, tries to bluster her way out, and ends up escalating into a physical shove. Her goon, not her, but it's all caught on my deck camera. It all moves fast now. Maria bundles everything, fraud, embezzlement, bribery, environmental felonies, and hands it to the DA. Karen's arrested quietly, but the whole neighborhood sees it. Her board turns on her. Her expensive lawyer offers a plea. One misdemeanor, step down as HOA president, walk away. Maria and I say no. We want trial. At the pre-trial hearing, the judge watches Leo's video, Karen handing the bribe, the deputy pocketing it. The plea is rejected, bail set high. The trial is a train wreck for Karen. Brenda eviscerates her Comic Sans permit. Arthur lays out the fraud. Ramirez shows survey markers, maps, foam sample results. Leo's video makes the jury gasp. I take the stand, explain my drone and sprinkler defense. She brought a bulldozer, I brought a sprinkler. Karen never takes the stand. Jury's out less than 2 hours, guilty on everything. At sentencing, the judge doesn't hold back. You stole your neighbor's peace. You tried to corrupt a police officer. You believe your power made you immune. Today, you learn you were wrong. 4 years in prison, restitution, and fines. The epilogue? Karen goes to prison. The corrupt deputy is fired, facing charges. The HOA is placed into receivership. Arthur is elected president. His first act, audit, transparency. Neighbors, even ones I'd never spoken to, show up to help restore the dune. The sea oats grow back. The turtles come back. One quiet evening, Sarah and I watch the hatchlings make their way to the ocean. She squeezes my hand. You did a good thing, Duke. I watch the last turtle slip into the surf, and I realize justice isn't handed out. It's built one stubborn fact, one piece of evidence, one neighbor's courage at a time. You got to finish the fight. But here's what I keep thinking. Karen almost got away with it. If no one had recorded the bribe, if Arthur hadn't come forward, if the law had kept shrugging, would there ever have been justice? Or would power always write the story? So tell me, where's the line between standing your ground and becoming the villain? When does fighting for your rights turn you into the Karen? I want to know what you think. Drop your stories, your opinions, your Karens in the comments. Let's talk about where justice ends and payback begins, because sometimes the line's just a rope in the sand.